Hello and welcome back to the Toffee Blues YouTube channel, your source for all things Everton. This is a match reaction following yet another disappointing result away to Brentford, losing 1-0 to a newly promoted side. It's absolutely pathetic. It's pathetic all day long. I think we all know that the writing's on the wall at the moment for Rafa Benitez. We have no idea what the board are going to do, but it's yet another poor performance. It's 1 win in 10, losing against the likes of, Brentford and Watford, newly promoted sides, QPR in the Cup. It's absolutely pathetic at this point. Okay, there was that time we made a slight improvement against Spurs, managed to get a point there, but to be honest, their new manager was there. They haven't done fantastically either. Looking back at it when everyone was talking about how positive it was, and we were taking a step in the right direction, that result, that was clearly very wrong. There was no direction from the team today. I've got no idea what the system of attack was. Were we trying to cross the ball? Were we trying to play it? There was nothing going forwards whatsoever. It was very simple for Brentford to defend today. We had a couple of flashpoint chances, but shockingly, imagine my surprise, it wasn't finished by Salomon Rondon, who managed to stay on the pitch for the full 90 minutes. I'm not really sure what his new training regime is doing for him. He's clearly just way off the pace. He's lost whatever he had at Newcastle. He's nowhere near good enough to play for Everton Football Club, and there are plenty of options on the bench that Rafa refused to use. You look at the likes of young Dobbin, Sims. Dobbin looks like he's not signed a new contract because the club don't want to play him. Benitez is refusing to give him a chance. Sims has signed a new contract for some reason. If I was him, I wouldn't have done. Not even getting a sniff at the first team, despite the fact that Rondon, week on week, is putting in pathetic performance after pathetic performance. Starting Alex Iwobi, I physically can't understand. The lad's been below par all season. There's been no improvement from him. Doesn't even look like a footballer most of the time, and I can't even imagine why he is starting games of football with Rondon. Look, you can talk about injuries as much as you like. We don't have our best players, but there are options on the bench. Even for the last 10 minutes, he just sat and looked. There was no one warming up. We had 3 strikers on the bench that could come on and make a difference. Replace the lad that hasn't even been slightly up to the level of an average performance all season in Rondon. 2 young players. Tosin, even as a last chance resort, he's come back from injury. I'm not saying I want to be seeing Cenk Tosin in Everton shirt, but there's absolutely no reason why Salomon Rondon should be playing. And at this point, I'm completely behind the manager being sacked. I can't understand why this would be allowed to go on. It's going to be embarrassing on Wednesday at the derby. I mean, we've got a former Liverpool manager. He's got 1 win in 10 for us. He doesn't look like he cares at all about changing things. Saw one of the lads in the Toffee Blues saying his heart's not in it. It's clearly not. He's never been invested in this job. He wanted it because it was around the corner. He's wanted a way back into the Premier League for years after his disastrous move in China. And at this point, I can't understand why we would persist with this manager. We've ended up in a relegation battle, and we will be in a relegation battle. We do have the likes of Calvert-Lewin coming back now. Decore was rushed straight into the squad today, clearly wasn't fit and was way off the pace. But injuries aren't the major concern here. I mean, you're talking about the likes of Brentford, who, with all credit to them, they're doing very well this season, playing way above what I expected them to do. But we should be beating them without our key players. With our key players, it doesn't really matter. There should have been enough on the bench. There should have been tactical changes made by the manager. And what I can't understand is why early on in the season, it seemed like he was making some decent tactical decisions. And even though everyone was always annoyed that he was a former Liverpool manager, no one wanted him, to be honest, in early days. But you could see that, all right, maybe he's a good tactician. Maybe he's going to get the best out of a fairly poor squad. But look at it, he's not. He's not making the good tactical decisions now. To be honest, he's staring at this squad. He's staring at the performances on the pitch and refusing to change anything. It doesn't take a genius to see that team needed changes today. There's not much more that can actually be said. I'd love to know all of your thoughts. I can see a lot on Twitter, people talking about the manager should be sacked. I completely agree. It's a stain on this football club, this whole period of time after Ancelotti, the poor sign, well, not the poor signs, but the lack of money in the summer, the poor recruitment that's been here for years. It's all led up to this moment. We've got a former Liverpool manager who's refusing to really invest in the team at all. He's not making the strong tactical decisions we thought that he might at least bring. It's going to be embarrassing at the derby. I'd imagine we're going to get battered. I'd imagine we're going to get battered up until Christmas, and then we find ourselves in a relegation battle, which I'm not surprised at by the level of performance in the last 10 games. Only winning 1, and that was against Norwich, before Daniel Farke was sacked, when they were, churning out poor performance after poor performance. That was expected. 5-2 against Watford is pathetic. 1-0 away at Brentford is absolutely pathetic. That result against Wolves, no direction either. Forget whatever slight improvement you might have seen at Old Trafford or at Goodison Park against that Spurs side that have now gone on to almost be knocked out of the Europa Conference League. Clearly we weren't making massive improvements there's no silver line to that. I'm absolutely behind the manager being sacked now, and I think today's performance absolutely underlined that. So do let me know what your thoughts are. I can't see the season going very well. I can see us ending up in a relegation battle. Hopefully, by the time we get all our key players back fit and fighting, we should be able to avoid being dragged properly into it. But right now, we are in a relegation battle, and considering the fixtures we've got in the winter period, we're going to be in that position going forward. So remember, this is just my instant reaction to the match. So let us know your thoughts as well. Please do subscribe to the channel. We're trying to head towards 10,000 subscribers for the end of the year. And look, it's very grim at the moment, unless major change is made in that managerial position and above. Of course, we could go on at length about the board. I did that with the Esk the other day. I'm not going to go into that now. This is purely about the performance that I've just seen on that football pitch, which was absolutely pathetic. So thank you all very much for watching. I'm sorry you all had to persevere through that today like we all did, but join us next time on the Toffee Blues.